It's my pleasure now to invite to the stage Jeff McElroy, Chairman of Rob Roy Industries, to present the next award.
Thank you, Susan. First of all, congratulations again to Jeff Flick. Well deserved. And now it's a pleasure and an honor to introduce our next award recipient, John Staley. John is this year's winner of the Leadership of Private Company Governance. I was introduced to John about 20 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. About 20 years ago by my father. My brother and I have had the opportunity over the last 10 years at the board level to work with John. John's resume and wealth of experience serving on private company boards speaks for itself. Our company, Rob Roy Industries, has been very fortunate to have John serve on our board since 1995. During his tenure, John has provided incredible insight, strategic value, but has also been there a leader in governance during what I'd call the watershed moments. And John knows there's been quite a few of them. Some of them have been taking the company private, multiple acquisitions over the years, some good, some bad, more good than bad. Some divestitures, shareholder buyouts, and probably most recently, succession planning. And John, you were instrumental in helping navigate this process, and it's led to a successful transition of ownership and leadership to a fourth generation. So I thank you for that. From my perspective, John is, you probably won't want me to say this, but larger than life. He's one of those individuals when he walks into a room, a boardroom, or any room, and he's laughing over there, he commands respect. And when I think of words that describe John, it would be a leader, someone that's inquisitive, someone that's a strategic thinker, an excellent communicator, but most importantly, a person of high integrity. And now, despite the fact that this is a tribute to John's boardroom skills, I just want to briefly, few comments and insights on John, his character, John the person. And John is a person who is generous, compassionate, enthusiastic, fun-loving, devoted to his church, and devoted to his family. So you put this all together and you have a very special person. So John, on behalf of my father, my brother, the entire Rob Roy board, some of you are here tonight, and all the other boards that you serve on, congratulations on your award. And I'd like to invite John up to the stage and Amy Pandit of Jones Day to help present John's award.
Thank you very much. I didn't actually recognize who he was talking about. I wondered if McGinley knew that was me he was talking about. I don't know. But obviously, I've had a wonderful life of being involved with businesses and being on a number of boards. I wouldn't have been able to do that without the chairman of the board, who is with me tonight, Patricia. The picture you saw reflected, I have to think about this a minute. Let's say 54 years this June with our 6 children and 10 grandchildren. And trust me when I tell you, she didn't need any education or best practices to run the place and to run me. But I really would like to thank particularly Jeff and Rob and the Rob Roy family for this nomination, and also Herb Scheer from Genco. I've had the pleasure of serving on a number of private company boards, but I've also served on a number of public companies. And I must tell you, and Bill Kasling would probably agree with this, the private companies are a hell of a lot more fun. There's a lot more focus on the business and a lot less time with lawyers, accountants, and regulators. As I have been involved on various boards, I have tried to bring focus to particularly three areas as I have involved myself as a director in various companies. Obviously, as a director, you have many constituencies. Employees, you have customers, you have community. But the primary focus has to be the owners. You're there to represent the owners of the business, the shareholders, whether that's a family, whether that's an investment group, whomever it is. As long as you keep focus on exactly who owns the place and what you're there for, I think it works a lot better, and a lot of other things flow from it. There tends to be somewhat too many distractions from that. The second focus I try to have, and I've always tried to have, is on particularly corporate strategy. And this has to do with management succession, ownership succession, and particularly in family businesses, I'm rather well known for cautioning folks that when you get many, many owners who are no longer employed in the companies, you're no different than a public company. You just don't have to file the reports. But from the standpoint of compliance and oversight in various committees for comp, dividends, liquidity, et cetera, you are in fact a public company. The other focus that I try to have with folks is the issue, do you remain private or do you exit? I don't think there is anything that's more exciting in my business career than successful companies. Just look at the number of fatalities, and when you have one that's successful, it's quite precious. So you question, do you keep it independent or do you move it into an exit strategy? Sometimes I feel I have had exit on my forehead, but there, in my opinion, as a director, you need to raise that question, but you also have to have a compelling reason to exit. And that compelling reason could simply be governance, either management or ownership. It could be regulatory issues, it could be competitive issues, or every now and then you get a phrase that I refer to as divine intervention, where the price is so damn good you have to say goodbye. But this is pretty good. This little machine here tells me I'm done. So I just, neither Hottie or Jack have ever seen that happen to me before. But I do want to say I am particularly proud for this event, for this evening, and I couldn't be more proud than who I am sharing this with. To see the Hannah Company and Hottie and Annie and Helen are here, plus and Kelly, other members of their organization, a fabulous company. Bill Kasling had one of the greatest management buybacks in this whole area with Wabtec. I mean, these are just absolutely top-notch people. ANSYS is a TA-backed company. TA is a fabulous venture group out of Boston, and this company is spectacular here in Pittsburgh. And certainly with David Hildebrand at Carnegie, where I'm still involved, and the wonderful work of the Watson, I couldn't be more proud than to share the stage with these awardees. And I particularly also thank the National Association of Corporate Directors for their work on education and best practices. Thank you very much. I only ran over a minute.
We couldn't have scripted that if we tried. Thank you, John. Congratulations.